Step 1. Determine if you are eligible for an H2b visa. The H2b visa is a non-immigrant visa that allows foreign workers to come to the United States temporarily to perform non-agricultural labor or services. To be eligible for an H2b visa, you must meet the following requirements. You must have a job offer from a U.S. employer to perform non-agricultural work. The job must be temporary or seasonal in nature. The employer must demonstrate that there are not enough U.S. workers who are able, willing, qualified, and available to perform the job. You must be able to demonstrate that you have ties to your home country and will return there at the end of your temporary stay in the United States. Step 2. Find an employer who is willing to sponsor you. To apply for an H2b visa, you must have a job offer from a U.S. employer who is willing to sponsor you. The employer must file a Form I-129 petition for a non-immigrant worker with U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services (USCIS) on your behalf. Step 3. Complete the Form I-129. The Form I-129 is a lengthy form that requires detailed information about you and your employer. Some of the information that you will need to provide includes your full name and contact information, your job title and job duties, your employer's name, contact information, and tax identification number, the dates of your proposed employment, the wage that you will be paid, the number of workers being requested. Step 4. Submit the Form I-129 to USCIS. After the employer has completed the Form I-129, they must submit it to USCIS. The employer will also need to pay a filing fee and provide any additional documentation that USCIS requests. Step 5. Wait for USCIS to approve the Form I-129. After USCIS receives the Form I-129, they will review it to ensure that all of the information is accurate and that the employer meets all of the eligibility requirements. If USCIS approves the Form I-129, they will issue an approval notice to the employer. Step 6. Apply for a visa at a U.S. embassy or consulate. Once the Form I-129 is approved, you can apply for an H2b visa at a U.S. embassy or consulate in your home country. You will need to provide the following documents: your passport, the Form I-129 approval notice, a copy of the petition and supporting documents filed by the employer, proof of your ties to your home country, such as a letter from your employer or a lease agreement, any additional documentation required by the embassy or consulate. Step 7. Attend a visa interview. After you have submitted all of the required documents, you will need to attend a visa interview at the U.S. embassy or consulate. During the interview, a consular officer will ask you questions about your job, your ties to your home country, and your plans for returning home after your temporary stay in the United States. Step 8. Wait for your visa to be processed. After the visa interview, you will need to wait for your visa to be processed. The processing time can vary depending on the embassy or consulate, so it is important to apply for your visa well in advance of your planned travel dates. Step 9. Enter the United States. Once you have been issued an H2b visa, you can travel to the United States to begin your temporary employment. You will need to present your visa and supporting documentation to a U.S. Customs and Border Protection (CBP) officer at the port of entry. Step 10. Maintain your status. While you are in the United States on an H2b visa, it is important to maintain your status by complying with all of the visa requirements. This includes working only for the employer who sponsored your visa, departing the United States before your authorized stay expires, and not engaging in unauthorized employment or activities.